someone loves me. I'll find the towels right after I cancel therapy. I'm all fixed. I wore that ring for 2 months. I never got used to it. It kept getting caught on stuff like sweaters and my freedom. Like, it was cumbersome. It also just didn't look right on me. It was a diamond on this. It looked stupid. I looked like a rescue dog in a Gucci sweater. It was so dumb. I mean, I had a friend who goes, "Are you afraid you're gonna get mugged?" I'm like, bitch, I look like I stole it. Are you serious? I knew I was too young to be getting married because people kept telling me that I was. I had so many people that were like, "I got married at 25. Don't know if I'd do that again." I'm like, "Aren't you guys still together?" They're like, "Yeah." I had a woman at one of my shows yell at me from the audience. She goes, "You should really wait till you're 27 to get married." I said, "Why 27? She goes, "Because that's when your frontal lobe is finished developing in your brain. That's when your brain's done, 27. Yeah, what a mean fact to yell at someone. It's like, "Oh, you think you're happy, Scarecrow? Why don't you wait a beat till the wizard gets you a brain?" I've been drinking since noon. Make me laugh. But I Googled it, and that fact is real. And that fact is proof that God is a man, because who else would finish your boobs years before your brain? That's bullshit. You're telling me no one up in heaven's like, "Hey, God, are you going to finish the brain today? Because you keep putting it off, and it seems important." He's like, "This is important!" Don't tell me how to do my job. I'm God, damn it. I'm going to make one of them bigger for like 8 years. I'm sorry if you love God. That's what he's like. My dad was so religious growing up, he used to insist on praying out loud in restaurants before we ate dinner, which is fine if you're into that, but keep it short. He wouldn't do that. He would do long, drawn-out prayers full of personal details that none of us signed off on at the table, which made puberty pretty rough with your dad in public, just like, "Thank you, Lord, for this food. Thank you for bringing us here together. Thank you that Taylor's a woman now and is getting the help she needs in math." I'm like, "Can you not tell this Chipotle that I'm bleeding and can't subtract?" I think God knows. It's why I don't feel bad telling jokes about my parents on stage now, because anytime they're like, "Do you have to air our dirty laundry in front of strangers?" I'm like, "Hometown buffet, 1998. You told everyone within a 5-booth radius that I shat my pants the night before. I can say whatever I want." I'm not religious anymore. I have had some friends find religion as adults recently, which is very upsetting. If you grew up religious and you're not anymore, and your adult friends find religion, it feels like God is your shitty ex-boyfriend who's now getting it together for your friend, and you just have to watch it happen on Facebook. They're like, "Have you met God? He's amazing." I'm like, "Yeah, I grew up with God. He's a douchebag, all right? Did he tell you you were broken and you need him? That's his move. That's what he does. He says that to everybody. Don't drink what he gives you. You drink that, next thing you know, you're eating his body, the Holy Spirit's inside you. It's a whole system they have over at that frat house they call church. Who else uses Roman numerals?" That joke makes it sound like I resent my religious upbringing, and I do, so I nailed it. But no, honestly, if I had to come up with some stuff that was like positive about me growing up religious, I'm sure I could with enough time and money. But I do have some issues with it. It gave me some serious trust issues, and it just made me weird growing up in church in ways that I am still discovering. For example, I just found out that I masturbate wrong. I will back up. Okay, so when I was growing up in church, kids had youth group, and at youth group they were like, "Don't have sex," and we were like, for sure. And then they were like, "Don't even masturbate," and all the girls were like, "Okay, we didn't even know that we could." And all the boys were like, why? And the way they explained it to us was, our youth pastor told us, he goes, it's not the physical act of masturbating that's the sin, you guys, all right? It's not even the orgasm. In fact, if you have a wet dream, thank God for the freebie and have an awesome day. But what are you thinking about while you're doing that to yourself, guys? That's what the sin is. It's the lust in your heart. It's the impure thoughts in your head. That is what the sin is. So when I got to be an adult and I wanted to masturbate, I was like, well, if I just don't think about anything, I could probably still go to heaven, right? Just like clear your mind, get in there, get it done. See you soon, Jesus, right? Touch nothing but the lamp. So I've been doing this my entire adult life. All my friends are like, you gotta meditate. I'm like, I think I do. And I do mean my entire adult life, by the way. I did not masturbate till I was a grown woman. I was that afraid of going to hell, all right? Yeah. I had my first orgasm with my college boyfriend. Do you know how embarrassing that is to get your first orgasm from another person? That's like having a realtor show you your own house. They're like, and over here we have a second bathroom. You're like, a second bathroom? Like, you've been here for 19 years. You never went poking around on your own? You're like, I did once, but I thought Jesus would get mad. So, yeah, I don't actually own this place. I'm just renting it from the guy upstairs. And if I flood the basement, I do not get my security deposit back. So, is there anything else I should see while you're here? She's like, yeah, let me show you the doorbell. I'm like, oh, is the doorbell even important? She's like, the doorbell is the only thing that matters. Nobody comes inside without touching the doorbell. Oh, but I did touch it. You didn't use enough pressure. It didn't light up. So I'm not sure if I want kids now. I go back and forth on whether or not I want kids so often that sometimes I just want to get my tubes tied because that feels like the reproductive equivalent of pouring water on brownies in the trash. You know, and you're like, I'm going to want these later. But I'm thinking straight now. So I'm going to remove the option. If you're not laughing, congrats on having a healthy relationship with food your whole life. Do we have any moms in here that wouldn't mind? Oh, good. You're like, yes, I am. I love that. That wouldn't mind me asking them personal questions about childbirth. Love it. Your hand's still up. Love that. Moms are so cool. They're always like, yeah, sure. I'm an open book. Literally. They cracked my spine on the way out. So I would love to share. Okay. How many kids do you have? Two? Nice. How old are they? 16 and 18? Oh, thank God. They're like full people. When people have babies, I freeze up. I'm like, oh, is it water? Has it opened its eyes or has it dried out? They come out pretty slick, right? Yeah. Got a grip on it. Okay. You got teenagers. Did you have your kids out the main terminal? Yeah. I thought that was a classy way of putting it. Okay. So I've talked to a lot of women on this tour who have told me, because I'm very scared of childbirth, which makes sense. I grew up in church where not even abstinence could protect you fully, right? They told you the story of Mary. They're like, yeah, no, keep your knees closed. Hope God doesn't pick you. Like, it adds a whole other layer of fear to childbirth. Childbirth is already terrifying. What if it's breech? What if it's sick? What if it's God? So I'm very scared of childbirth, and I've talked to a lot of moms on this tour who have told me that when you're pushing, a lot of times your body's like, we know what you're looking for. Coming right up. Ding, ding, ding. And at some point during the process, in addition to a baby, you may also push out. Did you poop? Yeah. Thank you for being honest. Thank you so much. Here's what I've learned asking that question for the last couple years. There's only two correct answers to did you poop during childbirth. Yes, I did, and I do not recall. Yes, I did, or none of my business. Because some moms talk about childbirth like it's a music festival they went to once. They're like, I was on a lot of drugs. I think your dad was there. I don't know. All I remember is I kept yelling, play my song, bitch. And they made me leave before I was ready. The first time I ever asked someone, I was at a comedy club in Dallas, Texas. There was a woman in the front row. She goes, 3 kids, never pooped. And there was a table of nurses nearby who were wasted, you guys, who started scream laughing at her. Everybody poops, every single person. And if you think you didn't, then we fucking lied to you. And I had to watch this whole woman's world change. It was like the Truman Show. I felt so bad. I was trying to save the vibe in there. I was like, hey, babe, don't feel bad. Even if I, airlift mine out, I'm going to poop on that table just to show him who's boss, right? To be clear, in therapy, I figured out the day in my childhood I became an emotional eater. I was 8 years old and I was eating a bagel in the kitchen and my dad came in and he goes, you're going to want to put that bagel down. I got to tell you something. And that's when he told me that my mom had died. So somewhere in my brain, something clicked like, oh, when you stop eating bread, people perish. I went back to 4th grade like the angel of death. Everyone's like, step on a crack, break your mother's back. I'm like, stop eating bread, now your mom's dead, dude. They left out that second part, but I had a list when I was 8. I tell you guys that because no one told me. They pulled me aside a year later at school. Someone's like, Taylor, your teacher thinks you might be struggling with a speech impediment. I'm like, what's a speech impediment? Are you sure you have the right person? Because I'm crushing it out there. And they're like, you didn't do anything wrong. You pronounce your words a little differently. Like you say sh instead of s for your S's. Does that make sense? And I was like, I'm pretty sure I would have noticed if I said sh instead of sh. Hope you find who you're looking for. If you have any follow-up questions, I'll be on the seesaw. I know dead mom jokes make people uncomfortable. I know that. And if you are uncomfortable, I don't know what to say. You should have worked harder so it was you up here. No, honestly, I never want to make people feel uncomfortable with that information. So much so that I used to lie to everybody growing up. I used to tell everybody that my parents were separated so I wouldn't have to say my mom's dead. And that worked very well until recently a friend of mine found out I had lied and she was very upset. She was like, your mom's dead? Taylor, you told me your parents were separated. And I was like, well, they were. By Jesus. Both her parents are alive, so she has no idea how funny that is, but she'll get it eventually, right? Like, that joke is a slow burn. Kind of like cancer, which is what got mine. Hey-o! Okay, all right. Oh, here's the deal, Boston. We have another, 6 minutes of dead mom jokes. I know, you're getting like, oh no, 6 minutes, that's a long time. It won't feel long. I've cushioned her, all right? I have laid my dead mom to rest in a beautiful casket of dick jokes and pop culture references. There's something for everybody over the next 6 minutes. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll forget she's dead. But I know a lot's happening for you as a crowd right now, because you're like, Taylor, we're good people. Good people wouldn't laugh at dead mom jokes. I'm here to tell you that if you're trying to be a good person at a comedy show, you're wasting your goddamn time. Trying to be a good person at a comedy show is like trying to recycle at a theme park. You're already in here and part of the problem. Put your hands up and have fun. And I know you're good people. You're like, Taylor, we've known you for 25 minutes. We hate that anything bad ever happened to you even once. Thank you so much, Boston. But what you have to understand is the bad thing already happened. And now I'm talking about it into a microphone in front of people who paid to be here. Which means now the bad thing is money. Do you think I'd be this successful at my age if I had a live mom? Fuck no! I'd be a creative writing teacher who loved myself, and I'd be sitting in the dark with you peasants, okay? She's in heaven. I'm on Netflix. It all worked out. That is a real thing I said in therapy. To which my therapist responded, you should come in twice this week. Some people get sad because I was 8 when it happened, but 8 is a great time to lose a parent because you're so stupid, you barely know what's going on. I had to decide what I want to happen to my remains when I'm gone. Have you guys decided what you want to happen to your bodies when you're gone? Yeah? Well, what are we going to do? Well, a tree pod? Yeah, that's nice. I like that you say tree pod because every once in a while you get a girl who's like, I'm going to be a tree. And you have to explain to her like, oh, sweetie, you don't get to be the tree. You're tree food. You're helping the tree. You're sort of like a pageant mom to the tree. Like, go, baby, go. Be what I cannot, right? Tree pod's great. What else we got? Someone said, what? Donating to science. What part of science? What area of science are we thinking? Oh, okay, you have a medical school picked out, but not like a specific area of science, not like keep it all above the net. I'm just saying, do we trust a bunch of college kids with our dead bodies? Do we feel like here's a dead mess of holes, you decide what science is? I'm not sure about that. I just leave specific instructions. That's my only thing. Is anyone getting cremated? Yeah? Okay. I hope you have a plan for where you want those ashes spread, because sometimes people go, I don't know. And it's like, you are going to end up somewhere weird if you don't. Your ashes are going to end up in like the cup holder in your driver's side door. You know that weird one where every 6 months you're like, was that an oat milk latte once? Like, that's the best answer I got recently. A guy yelled out, Viking funeral. Yeah, some guy in the crowd just yelled out, Viking funeral. And I was like, okay, I mean, that's cool if you want that, but I hope you have a niece or nephew that you're sending to summer camp that can make that shot, because that's a hard shot to make. The boat gets smaller and smaller the further away it gets, and if they miss, that's not a Viking funeral anymore. That's just a dead guy in a boat. And that is not as festive, is it? That's Stand By Me too. I'd like to be cremated, personally, because wow, I hope my ex sees this. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for coming. This is amazing. How are you? Good? Okay, cool. I'm sorry, that was so aggressive. There's so many people. I did not need to single you out that way. I would hate that if someone did it to me. I'm an introvert. Is anyone else an introvert? All right, that was a test and you failed. No introvert's ever gone, woo, at any decibel. Real introverts are parked outside going, is it even worth it? I don't know who she is. Here's how much of an introvert I am. Recently, I read a statistic that said in 80% of homicide cases, the killer was someone the victim knew. When I read that, I was relieved. Like, thank God, I don't want to get murdered and meet somebody. Oh, that's a lot for a Friday, getting stabbed and acquainted. Just dump me in the river. Don't introduce yourself, Jeff. So glad you guys are doing well. I'm doing okay. I am halfway through my 20s and I am done with this shit. Oh my God, I'm sick of my 20s. I'm so sick of people telling me to enjoy them. They're not fun. They are 10 years of asking yourself, will I outgrow this or is it a problem? Like, is this a phase or a demon? I just need to know. Like, am I fun or should I go to a meeting? Someone help me. And people get upset when I complain about being young. I had a woman come up to me after a show furious. She's like, you should really appreciate this time of your life because someday you're going to have a family like me and you're really going to miss it. I'm like, where are your kids buried? Holy shit. I'm just trying to get to my car, ghost of Christmas future. And if you're sitting there going, Taylor, you should be grateful. I miss my 20s. No, you don't. What you miss is a time in your life where you didn't have a lot of responsibilities because nobody expected anything from you. But do you remember why nobody expected anything from you? Because you sucked. That's what everybody forgets about your 20s. You were garbage. Thinner garbage, but you were garbage. You have no intuition, no instincts, you can't make decisions, only mistakes. That's why you're thin in your 20s. You don't have a gut to listen to yet. There's no mystic bad feeling under your ribs going, hey, maybe don't date a DJ again. Nobody expects me to do shit right. I'm like, what can I bring to the potluck, Nana? She's like, napkins, can you handle that? Dry ones this time. And if they say Starbucks on them, I swear to God, Taylor, go to a Dollar Tree. Stop ruining Easter. That is queer in the last couple of years. And oh, thank you. That's really nice of you. Because let me tell you, coming out as bisexual at 30 feels like saying to a waiter, by the way, it's my birthday. They're like, cool, sing to yourself. You're a grown woman. So you're like, excuse me, I was very brave. I just came out. They're like, yeah, but the coast was clear, wasn't it, babe? Like, I would have come out sooner, but I have 3 younger siblings, and they're all queer, and they kept coming out. They just kept popping out like little groundhogs. And every time another one popped out, I was like, well, that's 6 more months of heterosexuality for me, I guess. I was also hesitant to come out as bisexual because there's a stigma around it, right? When you say you're bisexual, a lot of people assume that you are good at sex. And I'm not, guys. And I refuse to get better. All right? I'm not learning any more tricks, okay? I turned 30, I was like, shut it down. As Jesus said, it is finished. I'm hitting save progress. I'm going to die on this level. But I didn't want to tarnish the brand of bisexuality. I didn't want to bring down the team. I have so many queer friends who are so open and free with their sexualities. It's like, oh, it's so fun. I have so many like Samanthas in my friend group, and they're so fun and inspiring. But I also think we need some gay prude representation as well. For work, he and I have very similar jobs. We're both out here on the weekends, changing lives. No, he hates it when I say that. He hates it so much. I'm always trying to talk shop with him. I'm like, hey, Jim, how was your early show? He's like, you know, it's first service, Taylor. I'm like, well, I just noticed you had a heckler on the late one. He goes, that person was yelling amen and hallelujah to agree. I'm like, that's the worst kind of heckler, Jim, because they're being supportive, but they're still disrupting your flow, right? I go, you know, I donate 10% of what I make, too. He's like, to who? I'm like, my agent, but it's still a tithe. I'm like, I'm kidding, Jim. I know we don't do the same thing. But think about this. I make them feel guilty Saturday night. You save their ass Sunday morning. I set them up. You spike the ball. You're welcome. I help. But my Uncle Jim's like a great pastor. He's like very progressive. He gives really interesting sermons. We didn't have a cool pastor like my Uncle Jim growing up. I really was triggered by the capital G God in my phone because I have religious trauma. Anybody else have religious trauma? Thought you might. If you don't know what religious trauma means, it just means you grew up in church, you're not religious anymore, but now, anytime you feel good, you feel kind of bad about it. Like, have you ever had a dip in the middle of an orgasm? Like, ha, 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 ha. That dip is Jesus spraying you in the face with a water bottle. That's why I don't say, oh God, during sex. He's like Beetlejuice. He'll show up. And to be clear, I'm not an atheist. I just don't know what happens. Neither do you. Spoiler alert, nobody knows. I've never related to the certainty so many Christians feel, where they're like, I just know. You're like, but how do you know there's a God? I just know. The only time I've ever just known something, it was that I had diarrhea. That's the only time. The only time I've ever been like, oh. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I did start praying. But I resent both sides equally. I hate it when people are like, there's no God, it's just darkness, fuck you. And I hate it when people are like, there is a God and here's his address and he loves me best. I just hate confidence. That's really what it is. I cannot stand it when people are too confident. I have one very confident friend. That's it. That's all I can handle in my life. One friend so confident. You know that hot girl in 8th grade who always came into class late with a Frappuccino and you're like, we get it. Your mom had you on purpose. She's like that. I think we need more gay prudes to stand up and go, I too am bisexual. I'm attracted to all of you, and I trust no one. I would, but I will not. It's also scary to say you're bisexual for the same reason it's scary to say you're suicidal. There's always going to be people who are like, if you don't go all the way, you just want attention. You know who likes that joke? Queer people. Queer people get that joke? Straight people are like, oh my God, there was so many sad words. Which is fair, you're right. No offense, straight guys. I have to say, I am so glad that straight men are not my only option anymore. That was bleak. That was tough. And it's not because you're bad people. You're just so hard to communicate with. I mean, and I tried. I've been to couples therapy with a lot of dudes. Never been married. That's embarrassing. You know how embarrassing it is to break up with someone you've been to couples therapy with? You just have to live the rest of your life with all this useless information about some dude's childhood. You're like, cool, guess I'll just go the rest of my days knowing what triggers Michael. That sucks. I also couldn't get on the same page with a lot of my boyfriends about our future. Like, I used to only want to adopt if I was going to have kids. And every straight guy I ever dated was like, no, it's going to look like me or I'll eat it. Every guy. Which, hey, I've never been a father. Maybe that's true, right? I had one boyfriend who said he would use a surrogate. He was open to that idea, which I do love the idea of a surrogate. What a power move to be like, can you just hold this for 9 months? I'm so busy. I'm getting a call. Don't eat fish. You breeze back in 9 months later. Their guts are everywhere. You have a blowout. You're like, thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, you're glowing. You're brave. Money's on the nightstand. 5 stars. Bye. You're like, that was a lot. I'm going to do no contact delivery next time, I think. Yeah, no, you're at the right place. Just leave it on the porch, take a picture, I'll come get it when you're gone. No, you're at the right house. Look, if I was an extrovert, I would have had it myself. So. I turned 30 2 weeks ago. And that means, thank you. And that means that I have spent the last 14 years of my life trying to get good at this, trying to get good at stand-up, trying to have the career that I am now fortunate enough to have. Thanks to all of you, honestly, yeah. And as grateful as I am, and as lucky as I am, it has really made me, this year especially, go, oh no, I don't know if I'm gonna be good at this other stuff. I mean, I know I'm a good comedian. I don't know if I'm a good person. I don't know if I'm a good parent. I don't know if I'm a good partner. This hour of material that I'm doing right now, that's like, can I have it all? I don't even know. This is not a bit, DC. I am genuinely concerned. Because I know how hard it is to do this job and be in this business and have a family. I see how hard friends of mine work at it. I also see how little work people put into it. There are a lot of people in this business who are like, you can have kids and travel. They got FaceTime now, which feels like tying your dog up outside a coffee shop and going, I can see him through the window. He's okay. And I still have a lot of childhood shit that I'm working through on my own. I don't want to put that on a kid, right? Like, I was watching a TED Talk recently. Sorry, I was watching a TikTok recently. I always get those confused. The information's still good, it's just vertical. That said, if you have childhood trauma you are still working through as an adult, you need to learn how to parent yourself as a grown-up. So I've been trying to do that in order to heal. I've been trying to parent myself. But I kind of feel like I got pregnant with me in high school. And I was not ready for this responsibility. And now I wake up every morning, totally overwhelmed, trying not to shake me. Like, okay, if I let you watch TikTok on my phone for 30 minutes, will you please stop crying? All my friends are like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I think I have colic. I kept me up all night. I love TikTok. You know what's so funny to me about TikTok? All these kids on TikTok who are like lip syncing and dancing and like pretending they're in a music video, right? We all did that growing up, didn't we? Yeah, like alone in your room in the mirror, hairbrush, of course. But if anyone had walked in on you doing it, you would have killed yourself, right? And these kids are online, like, I hope millions of people see this. It's like, you could benefit from some bullying, I think. Might have overcorrected a bit. But I do have a lot of friends who are getting married and having kids, and, they're condescending as hell. It's so funny how the same girls who used to wake up drunk on train tracks are now like, I don't know how you stay out past 10 p.m. Your lifestyle's really unhealthy. I'm like, I've seen you snort coke off a rusty bike rack. But you keep sniffing that baby's head like we all forgot. But my friends who have kids and are married, like, they complain about their jobs, and I do the same dismissive thing right back to them, where I'm like, well, yeah, but you're married, so you're fine. They're like, yeah, but I'm miserable 60 hours of the week. I'm like, yeah, but you have your dream dick, so you're fine. And it's not great, and I think part of it is that we're all turning 30, and 30 was this age in our heads where we're like, well, by 30, we'll have all our shit together, right? So that kept us going through our 20s. We're like, we're 25 and we're garbage, but in 5 years, we'll have it all figured out. And then you're like, I'm 27 and I'm just a piece of shit, but that I have 3 years to turn this around. And then you're like, okay, I'm 29, crunch time, bitch. And now that we're all 30, we're like, oh shit, our lives are not going exactly as we always pictured them. And so now there's this weird comparing that's going on, this weird tension. Like, I know that all of my friends both pity and envy me. Just like I know that I both pity and envy them, right? I know my friends look at me and go, yeah, I mean, I would probably focus on work if I was all alone. And I go, yeah, I'd probably have a bunch of kids if I had no talent. So we're all... And it's not healthy per se. But I do think it's good to focus on what is going right in your life. I think that that's gratitude. I think that that's important. And it has gotten me through a lot of weddings and baby showers to have my dream job. To sit in the back row like, yeah, whatever. Have your bullshit love party. Hope it works out. I'm still gonna have the coolest job of anybody you know. And that was true until somebody married an astronaut. And everybody's so impressed. I guess astronaut beats everything. They're like, you gotta admit, Taylor, that's the coolest job. And I'm like, oh, he's gotta wear a costume or he'll die? Fuck off. That's a dumb job. Now, if I can't breathe somewhere, I don't go there, Dan. That's just science. Dan hasn't even been to space, you guys. He just goes to work and practices space. That's his job. He goes in, they put him in a roller coaster ride. They're like, don't throw up. He's like, you got it, Captain. What a hero. I've been working on anxiety in therapy. That's been my main focus for the last few years. Anybody have anxiety? Does anybody struggle with panic attacks? Has anyone ever gone to the emergency room for anxiety or panic attacks? Oh, a few of us. Look at that. What do we think was happening? Heart attack? Yeah. And then you get there and they're like, oh, it's actually your mind that's attacking you. Yeah. I'll make you feel better. I went to the emergency room once because I fell asleep in AirPods, woke up, couldn't find one, thought I swallowed it. You meant you drove halfway there and it turned around because it was silly? Nope, went the whole way. Got seen. I wish I could pretend this story happened a really long time ago, but the technology involved makes that impossible. So I've always had a lot of trouble sleeping, my entire life. And before AirPods came out, I would fall asleep in regular headphones, listening to a podcast or a movie, something to calm me down. And before AirPods came out, headphones had cords on them. So if you swallowed one of those, you just pull it out like a magician's scarf. No big deal. But then they came out with AirPods, so I started falling asleep in those. And so a few years ago, doesn't matter how many, I fell asleep in 2 AirPods, woke up in 1 AirPod, and was like, well, obviously I swallowed it. Like a baby or a dog. Convinced my sister to take me to the emergency room, ruining Christmas morning for everyone. So we get to the emergency room in our hometown where I have to tell 3 grown women at the front desk what I'm doing there. I'm like, well, you probably get this all the time. But it would seem that I may have, inadvertently, in my sleepy sleeps, swallowed an AirPod, and they were like, an AirPod, sweetie, those are pretty big, right? Those are big. You really think you could have swallowed an air? I said, how about we don't have a team discussion about what I can and can't swallow, okay? And they're like, wow, someone was ugly in middle school. We'll take you back. So they take me back. We're waiting for a doctor, which, by the way, I don't know what I thought a doctor was going to do if I had, in fact, swallowed an AirPod. They're not going to perform surgery. They're going to go, oh, my God, yeah, it's in there. Well, stop at Taco Bell on the way home. Good luck. Taco Bell, good for every occasion. I don't know what I thought the AirPod was going to do to me damage-wise in there. I'm like, what if it's still charged? What if it electrocutes my intestines or starts playing Glee covers and everyone can hear? My sister's like, you deleted them all. I'm like, no, all of them. Some of them are bangers. Before a doctor can come in to see us, my other sister calls us from home and goes, hey, yeah, we found it in the pillowcase. Does Crazy want to come home and have pancakes now? I'm so embarrassed. I want to sneak out the back as quickly as possible. I'm like, let's just go. Let's just leave. And my sister's like, you can't just disappear. They're going to think something bad happened. I was like, something bad did happen. Let's go. She's like, that's an emergency exit. I'm like, it's an emergency room. It's probably a regular exit. Let's leave. But here's my problem with the emergency room. When you are having an anxiety or panic attack, it is your only option, which is why I think they need to open a second option right next door called the anxiety room. All right? So you have the ER and the AR. And the ER is where you go when you've been shot, stabbed, you are actively bleeding. That's where you go. You fill out all that complicated paperwork because that seems like the time to do it. And then the AR is where you go when you're like, I don't know where the bad is, but it's in me somewhere. It's either cancer or the devil, but I have to get it out. And that is just one fill-in-the-blank form that says, I know that it is probably fine, but... my bones feel itchy. I don't know! I just need someone in a white coat to tell me I'm stupid. I know I mentioned during... So I can only see her every, 6 to 8 months. We got lunch a couple months ago. Our food comes to the table. She immediately sends her food back to the kitchen. Did you know you could do that outside of a film? She did that shit in real life. I go, oh my God, what was wrong with it? She goes, there was a hair in it. One hair. There would have to be a toupee on my lasagna. And even then, I'd be like, I'm so sorry. I should have asked for this without toupee. I understand it's a garnish. It's just sort of triggering in this political climate. But I understand. It looks very natural. Thank you, chef. I'll pick around it. I used to be a really toxic girlfriend. I've worked on it a lot in therapy over the years. I was a nightmare in my 20s. I was dating a guy once in my 20s, and we were laying on the couch one night, and we weren't fighting, and I thought that was weird. So I turned to him, and I said, hey, babe, if you found out that we were cousins, would you break up with me? And he goes, yes. And I was like, whoa, fast. No follow-up questions. You're just out like that. He goes, it's illegal, Taylor. I'm like, so are mushrooms, and we did those. Now you're this law-abiding citizen just because we're cousins? He goes, you're so wrong about this. Ask anyone we know. So I texted the 3 happiest couples in my phone. And I said, hey, if you two found out you're cousins, you didn't know when you met, you haven't known this whole time you've been together, you have the same relationship you've always had, but whoops, you're cousins. Would you break up? And they all wrote back, do we have to tell anybody? And I showed him my phone and I said, that's what love looks like. Quick poll. If you found out your partner was your cousin, clap if you would break up with them. Okay. That's a lot of people. No, don't discuss. Fight in the car. Fight in the car. Okay, now, if you found out your partner was a robot, clap if you would break up with them. Oh, interesting. Bit of a drop-off over here. Some of us clap for cousin and not for robot. Okay, so we're going to abandon our family, but we'll keep fucking the toaster. Okay, well, that makes sense.